So let's talk about that. Hey, you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So the storyline in Sea of Thieves has been halted for some time now. We've had new world evolution and new cosmetics and items, but the story itself has not gone in any direction since Flameheart turned up. However, this is all changing right now. So in the previous update, we noticed that Duke had changed location and was mumbling something about finding some big secret within the Sea of Thieves whilst balancing on a rock at Mermaid's Hideaway. This, of course, sparked my interest, as this was one of the first times we had something that could possibly be pointing toward more lore behind the merfolk in the game. However, in the most recent update, Duke has taken yet another holiday and found home on Kraken's Fall, right next to a flame beacon. Except this time he mumbles about finding strange runes dotted around the lands with odd symbols on them. Duke alludes to finding them at Kraken's Fall, near a strange altar, the last place he visited at Mermaid's Hideaway and one of the unmarked islands at K9 in an underwater cave. But there is also one that he does not mention that can be found within the pirate legend hideout behind this ghostly band. These runes all have markings on them and words, which cannot be physically seen but can be read by interacting with them. Now, for the purposes of this video, we're not going to go into these words just yet, because there's far too much to go into. Also, I'm a YouTuber and would like this to be a series of videos. Also, I just love teasing you guys. So what we are going to concentrate on are the symbols on these runes. Each rune has a rudimentary sign on them. The one at K9 is described as a droplet tumbling from a diamond. The one at Mermaid's Hideaway is described as a curved path that forks into two. The one at Kraken's Fall is described as a shining triangle, and the one at the pirate legend hideout is described as resembling a number 5. Now let's take a look at these odd tablets up close. Now these may look like a completely new item within the seas that we have never seen before, but actually we all have. Well, those of us who do the Tall Tales, that is. During the Cursed Rogue Tall Tale, you unlock this chest, and inside this chest we find an ancient star map. This star map is in fact a broken version of these runes, and on this broken version we see star constellations. These artifacts were found by Briggsy, and she collected quite a few artifacts in her time, one of them being this ancient spyglass that can help you map the stars much like the ancients did. But this proves that these stone runes are ancient in origin and not merfolk in origin. But it was at this point I started to think these shapes on the runes could also be star constellations. A droplet tumbling from a diamond. A curved path that forks into two. Something that resembles a 5. And a shining triangle. The ancients loved to map the stars, and in fact most of their symbology that you see on islands around the world are essentially their worship to these stars. Now you're probably thinking, what does this all tell us? Well, much like Duke, we still do not have all the answers yet, but unlike Duke, we have a little more knowledge of the seas than him. One other ancient artifact that is within the game is the ancient crown, which can be found during the legendary storyteller Tall Tale that held one of the Shroud Breaker stones. These crowns can be seen on the heads of the ancient statues at the Shores of Gold. But it's not the only thing that is familiar on these statues. They also appear to be wearing these necklaces, which have an uncanny resemblance to these stone runes. At first glance, these runes appear to be broken in half, but with this knowledge in place, we can conclude that they are actually intact, and perhaps another artifact worn by the ancients, an ancient crown which had limited power to break the shroud, and a necklace that held constellations which guided them. But guided them where? Well, as I mentioned, we've only scratched the surface of the clues we have been given, and I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, we shall have to save that for another video.
Ah, shut up.